Welcome to this video about how to defeat the Mongols in medieval Total War 2. The Mongols are your fiercest opponents in the whole game, probably, and the most feared. And they come in 2, 3, maybe even 4 hordes, usually only 2 or 3. And then there's also Tamerlane and his elephants, which is like the Mongols. So, if you want to be able to succeed with medieval Total War 2, you have to be able to defeat the Mongols. So the first thing you want to do is fight your battles in very hard mode, because otherwise the Mongols won't behave like Mongols, and they won't try and get you in the rear or anything, and that's just not fun. Okay, so what we're going to talk about then is how to prepare for the Mongol invasion, and how and what you can do in battle against them. So to prepare for them, you need to, if possible, need to be in a crusade, because that gives your troops extra morale. And also enables you to build the armies you need, because the Mongols have 4 armies, you need 4 armies and some spares to go with them. And you need to build armies that have longbows or crossbows, and possibly a Carroccio standard or a Grand Cross, and you need a spy and some maybe 1 or 2 assassins as well. You'll need artillery, and you'll need to build fortifications. So as you can see in this screen, I built a fort, because when the Mongols come, what you want to do is try to catch them in a hilly area such as this one. There's an alternative one over here, because the Mongol cavalry don't work so well in hilly terrain, and it gives you more opportunities to place your archers or crossbowmen on top of a hill when they come at you. So, why are the Mongols so fearsome? Well, the reason is their generals have many command stars. They are high dread generals, and
was it your brother I killed?
As you can see, they've got a lot of dread, and they've got a lot of command stars. So that means they will scare your troops into running away unless you do something about it. And also their own troops don't run away. You have to basically wipe out the units until the general's killed. They also have units that have a lot of experience. So
struggle if you like.
As you can see here, they've all got
take your London.
Every unit has 3 silver bars on it, 3 silver chevrons of experience, so they fight well. And of course the other reason why Mongols are fearsome is because of their army composition. They have a huge amount of shooting capability. They almost everything can shoot except for the Mongol lancers. They're heavy lancers and light lancers. Everything else can shoot, and those that can shoot can usually run away from you faster than you can catch them, although quite often they will stick around to be charged. They also often come with artillery, not always, especially to begin with.
My master will reward me for
they have
death.
Rocket launchers and trebuchets. So that's another reason why you need to have artillery when you face them. Another reason why Mongols are fearsome is that they don't need any income and if they can easily replace, if they capture a town or a city, they can use it to replace their losses. Although in my game, the city actually became a rebel city rather than a Mongol city. So, what do you do about that? Well, the basic thing is the most important thing to remember about the Mongols, though, is that the Mongol horde only exists as long as its generals do.
You
So,
will have no rights.
if you kill the
Once
generals,
you are my prisoner.
then they will disappear. Doesn't matter, even if you lose the battle. So in my case, I was lucky that they took Baghdad off me, but one of their generals was killed in the battle. So I've now only got 3 to kill. Still got 4 Mongol horde units to fight, but one of them hasn't got a proper general. It's only got a captain. So while you're fighting the Mongols, the thing you want to do is target the generals more so than ever. If you can kill the generals, that's when they'll start running away, and that's when you win the battle. Even if they beat your troops, if the general's dead, he stays dead, and the horde goes away. And because they've got the high dread, another way you can counter that. You need to have generals with high chivalry and high command stars, and you need to have a Carroccio standard or a Grand Cross, as I mentioned. Okay, so when it comes to the battle,
yes, Lord.
You really need.
Was it your brother I killed?
You need to.
We will engage them honorably, my lord.
You need to fight them rather than or resolve it automatically. Although resolving automatically is okay if you've got a reasonable thing on the bar, but otherwise. And also, you'll need to have the Mongols. Doesn't seem to matter what you do. It's almost impossible to get them to not have all 4 armies fighting at once. So you need to have 4 armies. So I've only got 2 here. And your armies, it's best to make them like this, so that you only have the army controlled by the AI, but not by you. For some reason, they fight much better when they only fight controlled by the AI and when you're not allowed any interference.
We shall claim victory in God's name.
When you resolve games automatically, the most important thing is the number of command stars, and the Mongols have lots of command stars, so they're probably going to beat you. So probably the only way you're going to beat them is to fight them on the field yourself.
Units, await my orders.
And then you're going to have to look for a hill to stand on top of. Somewhere where you can line up your longbows or your crossbows or whatever they are. Like this. So you line them up in front. Then they're going to get charged by the Mongol cavalry. So you put a line of spears behind them, and just before the cavalry charge you, you charge your spears out to catch and hopefully they'll get in front of the crossbowmen just before the cavalry hit. And that way the crossbowmen won't be destroyed by the Mongol cavalry charge. Because it's that combination of heavy cavalry with lances and bow fire that will kill you, because you can't just sit around, because if you just sit around, they'll shoot you to bits. Unless you've got superior firepower, which you need, you know, if you've got at least 5 shooting units, you've got a chance. But really, they've got to be long. They've got to have long range. And if you're an Italian commander, the Italian spearmen are just the ordinary spearmen that you get in cities are good enough, but you do have alternatives. You also need need to have the now this position is wrong because I've got my edges on top of the hill. I need to have the whole army move over there. So let's grab. Oh, you need to turn off skirmish mode. You need them to stick around, not run away when they're charged. Otherwise, they'll just get caught in the rear.
March! Ballista! Move on! Units! Units, march!
And it's okay to have some ordinary bowmen because then they can provide flaming arrows, which will reduce the Mongols' morale a bit. And put your artillery on flaming projectiles as well. So I usually organise everything in a like so. Put all the spearmen together. And you'll need light cavalry. Just a couple of light cavalry units, not too many. So you can chase his light cavalry, because of course he's got lots of horse archers, and the only thing that really defeats them is shooting them up and then charging them with light cavalry. Which in this army is the mounted sergeants, but you can get Turcopoles. They're even better if you hire them as mercenaries.
Move out!
So I actually put the in this case I put the archers in the second rank. Because they're only peasant archers, and they're only there just to provide flaming arrows, and they can actually shoot over other troops. Whereas, although not as effectively as directly straight ahead, they will still do some damage. It's the crossbowmen that need to be able to shoot not over other troops. Of course, the ideal situation would be to have the shooters on a hill, on a downward slope, so that they have spearmen in front of them, shooters on the hill just above them, shooting over the heads of the ones below them. But you don't get that unless you actually get them to fight you in the hills, which are here in the sand dunes. We're not going to succeed with that sort of idea. You also need to be aware of where your supporting units are, where the other where your allied units are. So we need to place knights on. You need on both flanks. You need to have your heavy cavalry and your light cavalry.
Fly cavalry. Forward. Forward. Knights. Move General's bodyguard. Move out. Ballista. Fire at will. Crossbows.
So then the idea is to let the Mongols come to you. That also helps with getting your allied units to fight with you, because you need their support. And they always start a long way away. I have no control over these because that's the selection I've made, but they fight much better that way, and they often have very few casualties. It's really weird. So the Mongols will usually attack you, so you can just stand there and wait for them to come to you. And that's important because your troops get tired very easily running around in the sand, unless you've got Sudanese tribesmen as mercenaries or something like that. Here we go, you see? You put them on very hard, and this is the sort of thing you'll see. You'll get the Mongols trying to surround you, which is what they should do. And this is when you need your light cavalry and your shooters. So the Mongols come in horse archers come in two types. There's the heavy archers and the horse archers. The horse archers are no trouble at all in combat. The heavy archers do require a significant response. So in this case it would have to be the mailed knights to get the heavy archers. Of course, if you don't have any cavalry to charge them, then they're going to be in real trouble. As you can see, they're already causing problems for me. So that's why you can stand around with your shooters, but nothing else. And that's why you need the long range weapons, so you can just stand around and wait for them to come to you.
Resting the troops here.
Oh, and that, by the way, is another reason why building a fort is a good idea, because any losses you take will then rush into the fort. And the reason why you build a fort is because the Mongol infantry is not very good, and there's only a relatively small number of them. A small proportion of the army is infantry. So, and you need infantry to assault walls. So as long as you can hold the gate from the cavalry, which you can do with spearmen if you've got enough, you'll defeat the Mongols. So that is another valid Mongol strategy, which is to fortify your cities, let them attack you in a city. If the city's got artillery shooting, then they won't even get to the walls probably. If they do get to the walls, you've probably got better infantry than him, and you can hold him off the walls, and his cavalry can't attack you. And it's the Mongol cavalry that you really need to defeat. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.